All right. Hey, looks like we're live. Let me see how we do this. Let me do that here. Okay, there we are. We're live and here to talk about the 20 Books Vegas 2020, give you an update on what's going on, and hopefully put your minds at ease regarding what we're doing. There was a little bit of a technical glitch. I tried to use Be Live and it didn't feed. It made it so just I could see the feed, which was kind of restricting because I kind of already know what's going on. So I don't need to see me when it comes to what I know. It's Thursday, so we'll start off with Thursday. Coming to you live from the subarctic. It is now just getting light because it's dark here now. You can see the darkness at night. Just been overcast the last couple of days, but the day before that, got a great northern light show. So that was a treat because the sky is still light. It's not a black sky with pinpoints, so it's a very faint light night sky. But the northern lights were rocking with the great cascade effect on the northern horizon, and I can't imagine how bright they would have been if it had been full dark like the other 6 months out of the year. Anyway, here we are. What about Vegas? Right now in Vegas, they're limited to gatherings of no more than 50 people. I've been in contact with the hotel, and they expect that definitely will change by November. And if it doesn't, then our backup to our Deputy Undersecretary of Backup Plans is that we have the whole hotel of Sam's Town. They have 5 conference rooms that hold way more than 50 people. So we'll just have 5 conference rooms. So we'll be down to 250 people that can attend, and we'll make that work best for us. But that is the absolute last opportunity, unless they cancel all the events and say no, we can't have anything at all. Then we'll refund or roll over whatever we need to do. Uh, so don't worry, your money's safe. We're not going to be utterly murdered in our costs because so many people have been gracious and rolled over. So the 40 grand we've already spent on 20 Books Vegas 2020, most of that is rolloverable. Hey, let's make up words. It's cool. We're authors. We can roll over to 2021, and so your uh, your notebooks might say 2020 on them in 2021. I think that might be the case. And then we'll just fill in the gaps because 2021 we can have up to 3,000 people. So we're not going to sell out. We shouldn't sell that one out because I'm actually looking for a show that's 1,500 to 2,000 is all. We'll see if people are traveling in a year and a little bit, and I expect they will be because of you just got to get out, and that's I've had a lot of medical appointments lately, tests and stuff, as well as a dental appointment. And I talked to the dentist. I talked to the doctors about what is their professional opinion regarding me having a show in Vegas. And they said masks, don't be clumped up together. Don't be doing those things that you see on Facebook and stuff where you see these massive groups of people, like college students all going back to college. None of them are wearing masks and they're all piled into the. Hey, surprise, people get sick. Whether it was the flu, the cold, or COVID-19, those aren't optimal environments. And that's not what we'll do in Vegas. Vegas will be very spread out. We're down to 600 in-person attendees. Uh, you've been in the room upstairs, Ponderosa. In 2017, we had 400 people in that room, and we had 3 at a table. We were really spread out. It was a pretty good show in that regard. And then we had 700 in 2018 and shifted down to Sam's Town Live. 700 in Sam's Town Live. We had people in the first half, and the whole back half was empty. We had right around 1,000 last year in 2019, and there was a lot of room. Even with the 1,000, we had 800 in the main room, and now it was starting to get a little bit packed. But imagine only 600 in that room, as well as in Ponderosa, as well as in Hawthorne, and you'll see that we're going to have a lot of space. Everybody will be wearing masks. That's just how it is. and that's the way it is right now in Vegas. It's not optional. Uh, they'll take your temperature to come into Sam's Town. I saw some stuff from the CDC this morning saying the symptoms, 55,000 cases they studied, symptoms start with a fever. So we actually, I ordered 3 thermometers. I ordered those a few weeks ago. So we'll give you the opportunity to take your temperature. If you're feeling warm at all, get a temperature taken. It's no big deal. If you're staying in the hotel, well, you'll get your temperature taken when you enter the hotel. But if you don't leave Sam's Town, then you won't get it taken again, except by us. And we'll have thermometers, the little laser beam to the forehead. I don't know if you hold it there long enough, it'll actually burn an imprint or anything like that. Uh, I expect not. We're not going to be going with the Ruby lasers with the 1.21 gigawatts of power, whatever two AA batteries will provide. Anyway, Vegas. We've had a few people pull out, but the where you stick in the thermometer, laser beams, man, sharks with laser beams. This is what we've hired. We've only gone top notch here. Sharks with laser beams on their heads. No biting. Um, we've had some people pull out. We've had Amazon canceled all their corporate travel for the rest of this year. Kobo drafted digital. I'm going to miss Dan Wood. He's made all of our shows. And Ricardo Fayette, he can't leave Spain, so I mean that makes it really hard. And going back, he would have a hard time getting back, and then be trapped for 14 days on quarantine. UK, yes, you can come to Vegas, but when you go home, you're at right as it way it is right now. I believe you have to quarantine for 14 days when you come home. But just understand each country what your limitations are. If that's not a restriction, then you can come. But if it is, then don't. I mean, we will take care of you. We'll give you a refund or roll you over to 2021 because it's a way cool show. But who is coming? Well, Podium. I got on the phone with them. They called me. It was cool, and they said yes. Our president actually is located in Los Angeles, so he's just going to drive over. So hey, we got the president of Podium coming with 2 additional people, and I've actually booked them into doing a presentation on the audio industry, and they're going to have 3 people, kind of the way Amazon tag teamed their presentation last year, but they're going to go through, here's the history of the audio industry, here's where we are now, and here's some opportunities. And it's not going to be podium centric. They were very clear about that. They're like, we know the industry, we'll just brief it from this from the perspective of here is the audio industry and opportunities for your people. So we're going to have those insiders giving that presentation, and I think they've got an hour and a half. I gave them one of those because of the tag teaming approach. But the president of Podium will be speaking, giving that presentation. Um, Bookbrush, Josh Wiley from Bookbrush is coming. He said absolutely coming, and so what kind of presentation will they give? I'm going to give them a slot and talk about imagery, how you can work your stuff, because this is one of those things that will be helpful to those folks who don't have a lot of money to spend. You can't hire an artist because you just don't have extra cash laying around. So how can you do it yourself? And this is what Bookbrush provides. That as a product, but Canva, whether you use PowerPoint, yeah, or a real program, what can you do to increase the visuality of your stuff? And this is important because that's what catches the eye and draws people into your books. So that's the first thing anybody sees usually is Annalise, yeah. They if you make it, you're in Detroit, you're in Michigan. You'd be amazed if they let you out or let you back. So if you do make it, yes, Annalise will be talking about her role narration. I don't know if Chris Abernathy is coming, but we'll do good stuff with audio, because audio is going to be rocking in the future, especially when people start commuting again. They'll start buying stuff. I listened to audiobooks while cutting my grass when I was back in Pennsylvania, but they were the really cool audiobooks on my from law school. So it doesn't get any better than that. Listen to contract law while you're cutting grass. Oh my God. Case law. Read it to me, baby. Read it to me. All right. But BookBrush visuality, we do have quite a few cover artists coming. Quite a few have pulled out. This was going to be the biggest collection of cover artists ever in the world in one place. And unfortunately, all of our overseas artists aren't able to come, and just because they can't. They want to go home when they're done and not be trapped in their houses for 14 days and things like that. So it those, it's like I said, we're down to 600 people, but those 600, we're going to give you the show. We're going to record everything because if the great state of Maryland doesn't let Jamie out, we do have Ira going to be driving over from California. He's got his team that can drive in enough people to come and make sure everything gets recorded, everything gets uploaded to YouTube. So if you can't come, you can watch live. If you can't watch live, you can get it later on YouTube or watch it in the videos right here in this group, the 20 Books Vegas 2020 group, very specifically for this. But we'll cut them over to YouTube and put them in the 20 Books of 50K channel in the subset, the grouping of 20 Books Vegas 2020. So we don't want anyone to feel bad about not being able to come, deciding not to come. That's not what it's about. It's we're gonna give you the best show we can give you, whether you come or not. And we want everyone to feel okay. And for if you can't come, you're saving a lot of calories because we are obligated to eat those cookies and pastries and whatever else they can wrap individually and put out. Because right now, catering is in a huge state of flux in regards to what they can do. Because all the buffets in Vegas are closed, but they're starting. I think one or two has started to open up, and there's a lot of restrictions like frequent utensil cleaning or serving because they load the buffets from behind. I was on a ship once that had a disease run through it on a cruise ship, and what they did is they closed the buffets, but they didn't. It's just they had people serve you from behind, and you held out your plate and said, "I'd like a scoop of that," and they scooped it over. "I'd like one of those. Hey, some of the naked lady teas, free bowl of soup," and I was in there. So it's all kinds of great ways you can. How many people are watching anyway? I don't get to see that part. I had to my Be Live didn't work for this, so I had to use. Hey, look at this. So let me go back up here. Pretty cool. You got some great stuff. But I don't get to see how many people are watching me live right now. Anyway, well, whoever's here, we're recording. We'll get you up to speed. We've got our check-in team. Most of them are driving in. Mickey has her tickets from the UK. As long as she can quarantine going home, we'll take care of her in Samstown. We've got Kelly, I think, is coming in. We've got some folks, other folks driving in. So the check-in team is going to be fine. And with only 600 people, geez, they checked in 600 people in an hour. And we've got the whole day on Monday. Industry Day, so Monday, November 9th. Same thing. Industry Day is where the industry professionals talk to people. So what we've been able to do, what we've offered for Amazon and for Kobo and for Drafted Digital was almost like a presentation format. We've got the main room, Ponderosa, that we'll have spread out with tables, and so the few people in there will be able to talk to few industry providers who are in there. We'll be able to talk to anybody who comes through, any of our authors, and then we'll have a separate conference room available where we're going to be live streaming presentations where, like Kobo, we'll get a 45-minute slot. They'll make a presentation, and then it'll be interactive. So they'll be able to see the crowd, and you'll be able to see them projected up on the big screen. It's a little bit of a technical wizardry because this is Samstown, and our feed is going to be limited. Even though we will have a wired connection, it's still going to be a challenge to make sure that we get everything working like it's supposed to. So, but Kobo, Amazon, Drafted Digital, and a few others are taking slots, and you can go in there. Hey, we'll put that schedule out, and I haven't used Sched yet because we're down to 600 people. I want to make sure if I'm going to pay for that, that we get the most for it. So depending on how it finally shakes out, we'll get our schedule put up, uh, and shakes out by who's coming, who's not coming. I don't want to publish a schedule and then all of a sudden we lose half the presenters, or we or Vegas doesn't open it up and we can't have the show in that case. And I don't want to waste that money, because that's just I mean that's all bad money at this point. Whatever we spend, if we spend it for the show and the show doesn't happen, that's a one-time spend. It's not like we can roll that to 2021 like we can do with a lot of the other stuff. So industry folks going to be doing great. We canceled the signing simple on Friday simply because we can't invite a lot of people in. Hey, everybody come in, pile in here, because it just isn't kosher right now to make that kind of request of the fans. And if any fans do show up, we'll take great care of them, but that's because it'll be a small number, and then that'll be okay. So what are we going to do on Friday? More presentations, more roundtables, more conversations, more gin. I mean conversations with bubbly water. The the pool is open, so the pool area, this will be exceptional, because you go outside, maintain your distance, and be yourselves. And then inside, anytime you're in Sam's, right now you have to wear your mask. Even if you're 6 feet apart, it's still mask 100% in Sam's Town. It'll be masks for our conference rooms because that's all we can control in the atrium area. If it's still masks, you'll be masked. But if for some reason they say no masks, you can be at the bar. How do you drink? Well, you lower your mask, take a drink, put your mask back on, or don't. It's different rules for the bars and that kind of thing. But we will do what Sam's recommends. If you're uncomfortable with that, don't go hang out there. But it's the show. We are going to provide you a great show. It's going to be safe, because as safe as we can make it. Plenty of hand sanitization stations, and frequent hand washing, and space. All of those things that the CDC recommends. What's the room situation like at Samstown right now? Is under a governor mandated 50% capacity limitation. So that's all they can do. We are over capacity, even with all the cancellations, 900 people transferring over or canceling. We are, yeah, get on it, Rose. Cancel that room, because we're over. We're showing as over right now. So the for the last month, they should not have been taking new reservations, but some people have been able to make them. But they're over capacity. Uh, they have 647 rooms, so that means they can have 320 some rooms. And last note, they said we were 20 or 30 over. We were 50 over. So that means we had 370 reservations. I know at one point we had 620. We were full. But so as people draw down, I dropped 10 of mine. I had gotten 20 rooms to help out for last minute guests and some special guests that I invited over, that I would cover their rooms for them. And uh, I was able to cancel 10 of those. So I only have 10 rooms now, and that helped us. I think we're down to about 30 over. That's right now. If the governor opens it up and says yes, yeah, we can go to full capacity, because Vegas has proven that they can manage this, then all of a sudden we'll have a flood of available rooms. And so those people who are still looking for a space, who are coming, then we might be able to do that. No guarantees, because right now the capacity is 320 or something like that for Sam's. They can only do half the rooms. um, Eastside Cannery is closed for the rest of the year. So if you had reservations at Eastside Cannery, they should refund your money. And if they don't, well they will. Uh, and Where do you stay? Well, it's Vegas. There's a lot of places that you can go. I can't advise you on that. You can do a geographical search on Google Maps, find out whatever's closest, or go down Tropicana and grab a hotel there, because it's a straight, easy shot from on Tropicana from the Strip straight down to Samstown, and that's the quickest, easiest way. Even with all the lights, it's easy breezy. whether Uber or Lyft or a regular taxi will get you there. Just understand, Sam's Town is outside of those regions. Now, when you go to Vegas, they have regional pricing. So it's a set price if you travel within an area. Like the airport to the south end of the strip is $13. Doesn't matter which taxi you get into, doesn't matter anything else. It's $13. And that, I mean, it makes things really, really easy. You know what you're going to spend. And then as they adjust the districts, but Sam's Town is outside of the district, so now you get into the fluid pricing. And I don't know what it costs. Many people took a cab. It took like 50 or $60 to get there. In any case, that's what it is. Terry, don't worry about something that's out of your control. If they don't have a room, they will find you a room, and they will get you there because this is a hotel. It's just like the flight. It gets canceled at the last minute. They shuttle everybody to a hotel and they put you in there. So don't worry about that right now because there's only going to be we're going to have the cancellations. There's only going to be 10 or 50. If it happened right now, there's only about 10 or 15 people who would not have a room, and then they would find you a room and move you over there, and they might even pay for it for the inconvenience. So Bob's your uncle. Don't sweat it. Don't waste a perfectly good worry on something that isn't really worth worrying about right now. So there's yeah, we got plenty of people looking to cancel. I don't think we're going to be over, and I think they're going to open it up. So we'll be able to fill it and then some. What about the wait list? Until I know how many people they can handle, I can't open up the wait list. We have a lot of people. We had 500, 600 people on the wait list. I would love to fill every seat that was available uh, safely, but right now I don't know how many seats we'll have because if they only allow us 50, that's 250. That really puts a crimp. That means I got to find 350 volunteers who don't want to come or who are willing to not come, and have to incentivize them somehow, and then we'll work with the rest. But that's worst case. Worst case is we could only do 250, and that would be a challenge, a significant challenge. 5 rooms with only 50 people. We'd get killed on catering because Sam's Town Live is spendy if we don't have 700 or 800 people in there. So we may have to step out of Sam's Town Live and only do Ponderosa, Hawthorne, Pioneer, and and Red Rock. So we'll take a look at those and see what will work best with our budget and with what Sam's can do. So that's what we're doing. We do have a lot of guest speakers who are coming. So you're going to get some quality content. You're going to get some quality conversations. This is the great thing about if you are able to come. It's okay. It's within your risk tolerance. You're not going to be a stress monster while you're there, and you're looking to learn. And you can hear people talking through masks. Then you'll get a great deal from this show and the times in between. Because what I want to do is I want to have 45-minute sessions, but I want to have half hour in between each session. So people have plenty of time to walk from one room to the next, plenty of time to wash your hands, to sanitize, to maybe go outside, get a breath of fresh air with your mask off, and then come back inside. I know I can only go so long with my mask on, so those half-hour breaks will be a nice break to go head out by the pool, get some air, and then come back in, go to my room, do those kinds of things. And also, right now they're only allowing 3 people on the elevator at a time. So, because you saw it last year, we could fill that elevator, baby, especially since they had the escapulator down. Well, hopefully the escalator is up this year, and that'll make things easier. But only 3 people at a time on the elevator. We'll put a half hour in between each session, so you have plenty of time to get where you need to go. So you don't have to try to run with your mask on. My problem is pulling the air through my mask, and that straining. However, I've been practicing, and it gets easier every time I go out now. So that's just something to be aware of. all audio video. We'll be recording everything. I expect we'll probably end up being in 3 rooms is all, with presentations. What about panels? I'm going to cancel most of the panels just because, as it is right now, we could only really handle 3 people, and I would want every one of them to have their own microphone instead of passing a microphone back and forth. And of course, those microphones are a bit spendy because we have to rent them. It's just how Vegas works. So having all the extra microphones, I think we're going to go with mostly presentations, have panels only in one of the rooms where we have the 3 microphones set up where they can talk into it, and then we'll decootize them in between each session. And then with a half hour in between, the guest speakers will be great time to have conversations between the sessions. The hallway conversations had some significant power every year, where people had learned the best stuff because they asked very specific questions based on the presentation, and then got great advice and moved on. And some of the bar conversations, some of the restaurant conversations. Right now, Fridays is open, the steakhouse is open, Subway is open, and I'm not sure if the little the Geedunk place with the McDonald's and the taco place, Del Taco, if that's open. But if as the world keeps reopening and opening back up, those should be open. But right now it's Subway, it's Fridays, it's the steak place. Alrighty then. Anybody have any other questions? I'm sure I missed a lot of questions. I wasn't really watching over there. We've got plenty of swag. We've got plenty of stuff. If you change to a virtual attendee, thank you very much for your donation. We appreciate that. We will send you wherever you are in the world. We will send you your swag. We've got a team ready. I will send your your mailing addresses to our top-notch volunteers so they can print labels ahead of time, print labels or customs forms, whatever's needed on a pre-purchased label, and have those ready. So it's just going to be bag, slap, send, and bag, slap, send, and you'll get it. So, and we'll ship priority, so you make sure you get it. So that's all of those people, as well as those folks who went to the tip jar, where you could buy swag, you could add a few extra nickels to cover our expenses. All of that's great stuff. So that list and the virtual attendees, we've got. So we're looking at probably right now maybe 80 or 90 swag packs that need to be sent. We've got a volunteer team of 3 to 5 people putting together 90 packs, especially with the check-in team doing it during the week. It's going to be really quick and painless, and that'll all get sent on Friday. We'll go to the post office there in Vegas, and we're not doing it ahead of time because all the swag is in Vegas, and it's at Jim Slater's house, and we're not going to pose on Jim Slater saying, hey, can we come to your house and pack swag? No. We'll take care of it at the show and then ship it out on Friday after the show. So November 13th, your swag will be underway. So probably 80 or 90 packs of swag will hit the post office, and group hug to everybody for helping out with that. Spot greetings, jazz hands. Meet and greet, I would expect most of the meet and greets to adjust because some of the sponsors for the meet and greets are not coming. So maybe we take a look. If you were doing a meet and greet, well, you probably aren't even listening if you already bailed out. So we'll go back through that list and see, and maybe start a new one that makes sense before continuing with those meet and greets, or expecting one to happen that was set up 6 months ago, because a lot of stuff has changed in the last 6 months. So just in case. Yeah, flu shot. Yeah, I'm getting mine at the beginning of October. It takes 2 weeks. Keep in mind, it takes 2 weeks for a flu shot to allegedly become effective. So I'll get mine at the beginning of October, because mid-October I'm going to Vegas. November I'm going to Vegas. January I'm going to Vegas. I don't live there, but I live there. So I'll get plenty of Vegas time with my flu shot, with my mask. I'm getting a collection of masks. My collection is growing. Also, we will Sam's will have masks because they made it mandatory. So it's their responsibility to provide masks for folks who want to come in and don't have one. So where can you sign up for virtual attendance? All that is you donate your fee. If you've already been refunded, it's too late for that. But if you've rolled over, we can hold your slot on the rollover, and then you can donate your fund to 2020, and that helps out. Like I said, we spent 40,000 so far on this year, but 20 some thousand of that can roll over to next year. That's the swag. We'll give it to folks, and other expenses that we can't recover. We've had a lot of charity, a lot of good folks wanting to make sure that the shows continue, and that makes me feel good. My out-of-pocket expenses right now are limited on this. It's all good. We're gonna have we are gonna have the show. We are going to make it work, and we're also gonna have 2021 and 2022 because Bali's baby, and that's one of the reasons I'm going to Vegas for a week in October. Go spend a day over at Sam's to talk with them, hang out, see how everything's working, and then all the rest of the time I'll be at Bali's. Uh, I'm staying there. They're actually sponsoring me, so I'll get to stay there, get to go around, get to look at the conference rooms on multiple days, get a setup in my mind for how we can roll a signing event, how we can do an industry day, how we can have industry events during the show, how we can have the best show possible for our attendees. So all of that stuff is is if you're not planning for next year right now, you're missing the boat. And that's anybody who has been a project manager. You don't say, hey, I think I'm going to have a conference next month. Oh my God, you can't do it that way. And in Vegas, we've been working on Bali's for 2 years. So to make, well, the strip as a whole, trying to get the show moved over to the strip where we had more room, where it was easier to find rooms, and those kinds of things. Snickers. This is the creamer I've used right now is Snickers because they didn't have salted caramel mocha, which is one of my, that and amaretto are my favorite. But Snickers is not bad if you get the right mix. You don't get too little and don't get too much because then it's too sweet and nasty. But that you get that right amount of Snickers creamer in a good coffee, and by good, I'm saying Taster's Choice, man. Taster's Choice, good, top notch, Blue Mountain ish coffee. All right. Uh, that spot has been brought to you by coffee producers of the world. All right. The how much am I out of pocket? Nothing right now. It all comes down to what is the final bill like 10 days before the show when I give Sam's all kinds of money. Well, actually, and I have to commit. So I commit on about 1 October. Here's how many people we have. Here's what we're going to get for catering. Here's what we're going to do here. Here's the rooms we need. We need a wired connection. We need this. That's when I commit the funds. And then we have to look at, okay, how many people do we have coming? What was that fees minus what was the conference fees minus the PayPal fees? What Here's all of our expenses, and then we tally everything up. We try to wicker the catering so it fits within what we have left in our budget, and then we go forth and conquer, and then we catch up on the over expenses. Last year we bought, because I said coffee never runs dry. That's one thing. It's this is me. Maybe some people say Coke never runs dry. You get your sodas, but for me, it's coffee never runs dry, and they did that. We bought 50 gallons of coffee, and each gallon is like $30. So we bought a little bit extra coffee that I hadn't been planning on. Last year we were $25,000 over budget because I got a lot of extra things because it looked cool, and since we were having almost the whole hotel. But thanks with SPF and my affiliate link, we kind of filled in that gap of those extra expenses. So we started off pretty clean this year, but then all of a sudden we issued a lot of refunds and a lot of rollovers, and Bolly's was going to get a really nice big check to and that down payment for 2021 is due the week of the show in Vegas this year. So besides, I'm going the week prior to in this year and staying at Bolly's again, and I will hand them a check for whatever the excess is because I don't want to get taxed on that. I don't want to have, hey, here's $100,000 in conference fees for 2021. I'm going to hold on to that and get hit 40% income tax on that. No, these are the things you got to take into consideration. So I will give whatever that excess is. So I'm showing zero extra, and then all of the extra people for 20 Books Vegas 2021, we'll start signups in January. There's not going to be any rush because we're not going to sell out. There's going to be 3,000 seats, and we'll let all of the people, anybody who attended 20 Books Vegas 2020, you already have a guaranteed seat. You just got to pay. It's going to be $300 because we're on the strip. It's a little more expensive. Anybody who is virtual, guaranteed seat. Anybody who is rolled over is already rolled over and paid a certain amount. So all of that's good stuff. Lawrence, yes, we will take care of you. Fear not, Cookie Monster. And good job on your weight loss. You're doing great, man. You're looking great. So, yeah, I wish I walked 4 miles every morning. Damn, way to go, Lawrence. Really kicking ass there. Let's see. We're gonna do as much as we can with the restrictions we have. You're going to see a lot of great stuff. You're going to talk to people. The most important thing on these conferences is the networking, the camaraderie. It'll be like a Survivors episode. Hey, I was a survivor, and people who've been wearing those badges forever. Is, hey, I have my badge. I was there. I was there, man. Which is very military of us. That everybody, the desert, man. I was in the suck. I was on the big gray suck. Anybody who's been trapped on a ship knows that it's a horrible experience. So, but 2020, we're going to be there. We're going to do everything we can. We're not going to be shaking hands, hugs, face away hugs. So one shoulder face away hugs. The information, the all-star players are mostly all-star players are still coming. So the opportunity for great exchanges. And the benefit we had in Bali, when we did the conference in Bali, we had 38 author attendees. Most of them were spousal partner teams. So we had about 70 folks attending, and that was phenomenal. We only had 6 hours of program content, but we spent a great deal of time down by the pool, hanging out, talking business. And I think from those 38 authors, we now have seven-figure authors that were there. We now and probably fully half of them are over 6-figure authors who went to Bali. And I see a similar event in what Vegas is shaping up to be for those who come. And no, this isn't to make anybody feel bad. No, don't worry. If it's not, if it's going to make you uncomfortable, don't come. But for those who are there, the one-on-one benefit of a small group is significant, and that's what I'm also trying to do with my Indie Capstone. If we can ever find a time when we can actually travel and have things, challenge coins, yeah, I am still working on challenge coins, finding a reasonable price on a fluid quantity is the challenge. So anyway, that's what we're doing. I'm going to Vegas regardless. I got my plane tickets. Bringing a friend, Alex Bates, from up here to watch things and take care of me and run blocker. He used to work as a bodyguard, so just in case, because some people, I know it's hard to believe, but some people don't like me, and so yeah, I've got a bodyguard now. Anyway, it's yeah, hard to believe. Holy cow, could you? I think more coffee is required. So 2020. I'm getting there on the Thursday before, but I'll be at Bali's, and then coming over to Sam's on Saturday, and then making sure we get set up Sunday. Some of the folks will be arriving to get us set up for Monday. Monday is when we'll have initial check-in and industry day. The industry folks be like 10 to 4 for industry to talk with people. And I think that's going to be Monday is going to be a great calm day. Be casual, relax, talk to people, say, "Hey, I read your books," and go say hi, jazz hands them, and have a good conversation. The hard part, I'm probably going to be like this most of the time. Yes, I wear glasses, but glasses, hearing aids, and mask. That's one step too far. Even with these ears, they aren't big enough to support all of that. I know you can get that extra strap where you can hook your mask behind your head as opposed to behind your ears. But so keep keep that in mind. But I'm gonna be wearing my hearing aids. I did not the last couple years just because they're kind of a pain in the ass and background noise kind of floods me. But I think it's going to be critical this year if I'm going to be able to hear anybody and understand them. And that is a restriction. I know we had people cancel saying I simply can't understand or hear anybody who's wearing a mask, and it would be a waste of my time. And I get that. I get that really well because if my wife is not facing me, I can't understand her. So I mean, it's really important. I need to face her. I don't need to see her lips move, but I need to be focused, both ears, in order to hear what she's saying. And when people wear masks, I need to unfortunately get close, or they need to speak up. But I have a tendency to yell because my family's been hard of hearing for almost my whole life. So we generally just yell at each other. People on the outside are probably appalled, but that's just how we talk to each other. Anyway, that's those are the things I'm doing to make sure that I'm functional and get as much from the conference as I possibly can. Okay, let's see. Any questions? Oh, the backstories cards. I mean, what an odd story those are. I mean, Jay is great. Jay was in the Navy, and I met her in right downtown here at Alaska Comic Con. She's from Fairbanks. Currently lives in Maryland by you, but mom still lives here. So came out, and I was at the show and said, "Hey, look at these." And I'm like, "Holy cow, I love that stuff." And went through the spiel, and I'm like, "I love it even more." It was the middle of the Kickstarter, so I'm like, I'll buy 50 sets of these. Well, because of the show cutting down, I bought 36 sets is what I ended up buying. And when they finally came out and got finished, and they're the bomb. I've got a few different books on writing prompts that I don't use, and these backstory cards, I've got them right here. So yes, I rarely advertise for people, and but this is just I get no cut from this. I'm not taking a affiliate or any of that. But these things are cool. You can flip through and you find something. Hey, prop. There's look at that. I'm going to give this to the backstory. It's basically for gamers, for non player characters. So anyway, that's a better backstories. It was way cool. I've got the sets. All of the AV people who are working the AV will get a set. I will give them, and some of the other volunteers, I'll give out some sets, and then I'll have some raffle sets as well. But those are cool because I've got all these sets in the garage. No dust. My garage is nice and clean in a relative sense. All right. Is there any hope for those on the waiting list? Yes. There's always hope. This is America, man. America is a world. The 21st century. There's always hope. It all depends on what Nevada allows. If they open up all the rooms and they allow us to have more than 50 people in a session, which they're going to do, I'm going to take a look at how many chairs we can fill, how many we have coming, and then I'm going to open up the backlist for or the wait list for that many people. So yes, there's hope. How am I going to do it? I have 500 people signed up for the backlist for the wait list. Let me pull it up. I'll tell you right now. Come on, you big husky hunk of man candy. I don't have the fastest internet, if you can tell, especially trying to do anything while live. Let's see. 20 Books Vegas waitlist shows 201 entries, and I have no idea about that because it was up to 500 at one point. How so very weird. Anyway, so we got 200 people on a wait list. There it is. I will simply import that into my SendFox and send a note out to everybody at the same time, as well as post in the Vegas group because you're here, so clearly you're in the group, and say we've opened X number of positions, X number of seats, and then go to it, and people will sign up until it fills up, and then no more. So it's not first come first. It's first come first served off the whole wait list. It's not like, hey, I signed up first on the wait list back in March, and I should get first chance now. I'm just doing everybody at one pop. Sorry, because I tried doing it that way the second year, and it was extremely painful. I'd send out 10 emails, and I'd get maybe 3 answers. Hey, great, I'm going to sign up. And then I'd get nothing. And then, like 3 weeks later, somebody would be like, oh, hey, I just saw this email. I tried to sign up and it's full. I don't know what to do. I do know what to do. Send it all to everybody at one time and let them go until they fill up. That's the best I can do. That's for the time saving. So that's where we are. Let me close this out so it's not hogging any bandwidth. Roll this back down. All right. Let's see. Anything else about Vegas? We're doing our best because we were going to have an Uber back and forth from Eastside. No need for that because Eastside's closed. I think some people are staying at some Palace Station or something up the road. It's not. I think it's the closest hotel. You've got a Motel 6 the other way, and the good thing about the Motel 6 is they allow pets. If for some reason you wanted to bring your cat, Motel 6. Most of the hotels right now are not doing room service. So if you're exceptionally slobby, you'll have to deslobify during the show personally. Um, you can get towels and stuff delivered on touchless delivery. They'll throw a bag of extra towels outside your door if you want. But generally, you're on your own. So people coming for a week, hang your towel up and don't throw your underwear everywhere when you're done with it. So do your best and take out. It'll if you're eating in your room, if you're grabbing from Walmart and things like that, then yeah, you'll have to take out your garbage or hang it on your doorknob. I'm not sure how they'll be doing that, but most of the places right now do not have room service. So it's except for after you check out. Last time I stayed in a hotel, my checkout included bagging all of my linen into big garbage bags and setting it inside the room. So that was one of the first things. I don't know the way it is now, but I'll be on the road in 2 weeks. I'm going back home to Iowa for a family reunion, which was canceled. But since I had my tickets, I'm like, I'm going to go. My brother's going to be there and my family, so I might as well go back and see some things. And in October, I'll be there again, and we'll see what it is, and I'll update you with what it is. So yeah, tip yourself and deslopify, and you'll be great. You'll be a lot more comfortable. I might even make my own bed, which is an oddity, but I will, just to make myself feel like I'm staying in a hotel, which I will be. All right, let's see. Anything else? We won't have a whole lot of extras this year in regards to giveaways and stuff like that, because just having the show is going to be the big extra. We're doing our best to have a great show, and I will put out a schedule as soon as the dust settles, probably at the very beginning of October, as soon as the final, because September 30th is if you want to roll over, if you want to cancel. If you want to cancel between now and September 30th, I'll give an 85% refund just because of costs, and also I can't one-click refund you anymore because it's been 180 days, or right around 180 days since registration. And outside of that window, I mean, if you registered on February 29th, I think there's a few more days left in that window for one click, but it's still 85%, which if you paid $199, that would be a $169.99 refund. If you paid $129, it would be $110.49 for the refund until September 30th, and then after that, I have to commit to the hotel with, here's how many people are coming, here's what we've got for catering needs to hit their minimum, so we get the rooms for free, and then once the money is committed, I can't give refunds after that because the money's committed, and any refund after that comes out of my pocket. So we're not going to do that. But it'll be a rollover up until September 30th. But after that, it's like I can't even roll you over because the money's committed to Samstown, not Bali's. Yeah, money's committed to Bali's, but not your money if you're still coming, if you're still listed as coming. So there we are. We've got the numbers are pretty big. We've got, let me see if I've got these tallied up to the top here. We have, oh, and the way it's going to work this year, we've got 459 people still scheduled for the main room. We've got 192 scheduled for that were discount badge holders. And out of those, the virtual attendees are still included in those numbers. So if they open it up all the way and say, hey, we're good, you can have your 600 people or 700, whatever, in Samstown Live, then it's not going to be main room or discount. It's just going to be whoever's last man standing. Everybody go in. We're going to be fine. We're not going to separate it out because we're all there together. Now, if they do have to separate it out, we've got 192 discount badge holders that would then start upstairs in Ponderosa, and then the other 459 or 400 more likely would be in Sam's Live, separated out, and getting that intro presentation and initial setup before then we all intermingle. I expect, though, that we'll all intermingle from the word go, just because, hey, last person standing. So the I hope nobody's put out about that. That hey, they got everything I got for $70 less. Yes, but they weren't going to, and and they were willing to start upstairs, and I appreciate that. We're doing the best we can. We're going to have limited number of check-in people because half of those just can't come, and the half that are coming are probably have their hair half pulled out just because of trials and tribulations over the last 6 months. So people with hair checking you in, that you'll have to lean close because they'll have masks on, so they'll be yelling. Maybe have a bullhorn. Maybe have signs. We'll probably have more signs this year. That'll be easier. Real name. I know my sister had yelled that quite a lot last year, so maybe we'll make a sign for her. A little lollipop sign says real name. Legal name, I think, is what they're going with to check you in. We had 2 Richard Foxes on the roster at one time. So, yeah. So, yeah. We have a lot of loves as far as their public name. So, yeah, a lot of love coming. Let's see, any other questions? That's what I know about Vegas. I've been in touch with them. I've been in constant contact. They're very forthcoming. I think because we're such a kind bunch of people. They had a good time with us last year. Nobody gave them any grief, and this year it's the same way. People are not giving them any grief. They're very pleasant, so they like dealing with us. And there's not going to be a line. 600 people. That's no line. We had quite the line last year. That was awesome. Line going through the whole hotel. This year, people can check in all day Monday as well as Tuesday morning. So otherwise, yes, I would hold up the line. I wouldn't do it on purpose, mind you, but I did get yelled at a fair bit last year for holding up the line. Anyway, there we are. I hope this provided my rambling conversation provided some information and hopefully put your mind at ease. You have to manage your own risk. We don't want anybody feeling uncomfortable. Yet traveling there, it's best if you're in driving distance. That's probably the best way to get there. I'll be flying because I live in Alaska, and it's 9 hours to get there by plane, and it's only one time zone away. But my southern neighbors in Canada, I don't think you get to come because Canada is kind of blocked out from America right now. But if you can, or if you're just going to be in America anyway, hey, stop by Vegas. We got a show. Um, we don't want anybody to feel bad about not coming just because hey you want to network but you're not comfortable. It's okay. It is okay. Plan to come in 2021. Plan to come to Madrid 2021. Anyway, we're working that. We're still working with the hotel. The problem with setting up Madrid right now is nobody's open. So there's about 3 hotels that can support a group of our size, even though it's extremely limited compared to Vegas, because we asked for on June 5th and 6th, we asked for 300 to 500, a minimum of 300, a max of 500, and there were 3 places is all that could handle that. And then for the week of the writing conference, June 7th through the 11th, we asked for 150 to 250 who would be staying those other 5 days. And still, we're limited, so we're limited with whatever the weekend has. So we're looking at those places, trying to get a hold of them, but nobody's freaking working because they're all closed down. Everybody's closed down. Anyway, as soon as they open up, we'll start those conversations, see what we can do, see what we can do about pricing, see what we can do about rooms, see what we can do about all of it. The good news is the reason we picked the beginning of June is Madrid is the weather is still the chance climate says it will be pleasant enough. It's not going to be too hot at the beginning of June. The Spanish, a lot of them will then take your vacations at the beginning of June. So it shouldn't be too busy, which means we can get a better price. So all of that comes together and beginning of June, why Madrid? Oh, why not Sevilla? Why not Madrid? All right. This is I'm not entertaining other locations. No, definitely not Paris. Madrid. Just because I can get there in 2 flights. And so anywhere I can get in 2 flights is a good place to go. So that's I cannot get to Barcelona or Sevilla in 2 flights. So there's how I limit these things. Um, but Madrid 2021, we are doing our absolute damnedest to make that happen. As soon as they open up, we'll find if we can get a slot, if we can make it work. But 300 to 500, we'll do a show on the 5th and 6th that weekend with presentations. We're trying to do a main room and 1 or 2 breakout rooms to amplify the conversations. We may or may not record it. At this point, I'm leaning towards not recording those sessions unless we sell out. If we do a hard sellout, then we will do our absolute damnedest to record all those sessions. That's why we didn't record Edinburgh because of just we didn't sell out. And we did record London. We sold out hard at London. We did not record Bali because those were very, very intimate conversations because it was a small group and we wanted people to feel free to speak. So we never had any intention of recording that. We did record Adelaide last year for those limited conversations because we sold out and then some. Very hungry group down in Australia. Thank you guys. You guys are awesome. Especially since my son is going to become an Australian in another 3.5 years, and and that's where he lives now with his family. So Adelaide, baby. We may do something at some point in time again in Adelaide because I intend to spend a lot of time down there. It's a it is a great place. I don't think we'll move down there. I initially wanted to, but I can go spend a month or 2 and and enjoy what Adelaide has to offer in that part of South Australia. Um, we'll be spending the whole month in Spain, actually. So that's why Spain again this in June. The whole month of June, we will be in Spain. My wife will be doing immersion as well as just traveling around. We might be house hunting. Who knows? Because she really, really likes Spain, and a lot of people really, really like Spain. And and Ricardo's there, and we have I think that crazy Irishman guy. He's there. So there's a lot of good people in Spain who who love it there, and the situation would be good. Anyway, let's see what else. And this is recorded, so Margarita, if it's you can always go back and see what we're talking about with Australia and other stuff. Um, there we go. That's it. Indie Capstone, I don't know. It all depends. I want to have 2 weekend sessions in Vegas in January, towards the end of January. But I got to talk with them first and see what we can do. But I want to have about a dozen people for a one-on-one weekend with me. And if it's Vegas, I can get a couple guests to come in and speak for an hour here or there, and we'll we'll do our best for those small group, because those are so impactful. I mean, Edinburgh, you look at what happened in Edinburgh, people said that changed their lives. It changed so many people's lives. I was really amazed because I felt like absolute dog shit because of getting some disease in Moscow on that trip. And then we go to Budapest, and Catlin was so nice showing my wife around because I was so sick. I didn't even get out, and then, yes, Lawrence, I will go to Pittsburgh because my mother-in-law, my brother-in-law are there in Pittsburgh. So we will go to Pittsburgh at some time, and we'll squeeze a weekend in so I can write the whole trip off, and it'll be cool. Um, but a dozen people, very small group. We're going to talk about publishing. We're going to talk about your business. We're going to talk about your books. We're going to talk about those things that will launch you hopefully higher into without anybody carrying you, but just relieving some of that pressure on you personally. Of, my God, I don't know what I need to do to make this next step. I don't see where I can't get these books to sell. I don't see. Sometimes there's hard feedback, and sometimes there's good feedback, and then sometimes there's resistance, and we got to find where it's the best thing to help you move forward. And we can do that with a group of a dozen people. It'll be awesome. So just hanging out, talking publishing, talking self-publishing, talking your business, talking your books, and having a nice dinner, and then 2 days worth of that, and Bob's your uncle, even if he isn't. All right, you guys, it's been an hour and 10 minutes. I hope that everything is going well for you. I thank you for coming in and listening once again to me ramble about various things. But you can tell I love self-publishing. I love the book industry. I love this group of people who want to do better, do better for themselves, do better for their families. And it's amazing that I can be a catalyst for that. No, I'm not. I'm not the shell answer man. But you know what? I know the people who are, and no one person has all the answers. And that's the best thing about this group is we've got 42,000 people. We've got some great gurus. We got things like, Podium saying, hey, can we give you a call? We want to talk about 20 Books Vegas. Or people applying for 20 Books at 50K saying, Brandon Sanderson was talking about your group. How awesome is that? That and it's not me, it's us, all of us together. Rising tide floats all boats. We're all a part of this. Every little bit we can do to help the next person behind us, then we all go forward, and everybody wins. Because the big win is turning any TV watcher into a reader. Because readers can read more than we can write. So if you find somebody and convert them into a reader, you win for all of us. We all win. All right, man. Peace.